This idea of giving account to God is a big deal in Scripture. It's a big deal for the entirety of the human race, but it's also a big deal for us as believers. That I love the way that the Apostle Paul kind of puts these threads and sews these threads together in Romans chapter 14, where he's talking about us loving each other well and acting in love toward each other, and that we are actually going to give account to the Lord on this. So he actually says in Romans 14 verse 12, therefore each of us will give account of himself to God. What does that mean? It means that how other people are experiencing me, I will actually answer to the Lord for. And this is a really important grid for us to kind of be circumspect on in terms of how we view ourselves within the world. I think one of the things that was interesting last year, I read 3 or 4 books on near-death experiences, people who died and then went and were with the Lord and then were sent back here. And one of the common features of so many of those things, and again, I'm not saying that these are even close to being biblically in terms of biblical authority, but a common thread was that the Lord showed them this sort of life evaluation. It was this look back on, and the look back on their life was not so much as, oh, you said this, oh, you did this, but it was a look back on their lives through the eyes of others. And this is what others were experiencing by experiencing me. And I thought and then the Lord sent them back to get it right. And it's like, wow, can we go to school on that? Can we go to school on the idea of thinking about how are other people experiencing me, and that this is how the Lord wants me to see them. He wants me to see them through the eyes of love. He wants them to receive from me love as if it's coming from him. And that's a grid that we look out through the lens of our earthly glasses, the way that we see the world, and that we conduct ourselves differently, that we think about how are people experiencing me, and how are people experiencing the things that I do to and for them. And Lord, I want this to please you by loving them.